Hello there YouTube, Pandacutienomnom here with my very first monthly update. I'd planned to do a monthly update since the beginning of my challenge, but unfortunately I've been really bad about being consistent. But moving forward, I'm definitely going to be taking this more seriously and hopefully I'll be more consistent. In this update, I'm going to go over my personal thoughts on the challenge, changes I'm going to make to the challenge, and what's in store for the near future. So how's the challenge going? Overall, to be honest, I'm not really satisfied with how the challenge has been progressing so far. I had a lot of personal in real life things going on, as well as a loss of motivation, which put my challenge on pause for a really long time. There's a few big issues that I ran into that made it difficult to be consistent with the challenge. The first thing is that it was really difficult to analyze replays when I was simply just trying to get used to the game again mechanically. No joke, I had a really hard time just moving my champion again and right-clicking. To do that, while also planning to review the game and all the mistakes and stuff, it just made playing pretty unenjoyable and I just didn't look forward to it at all. What I really needed was just repetition so I could get the feel of the game again. I started streaming League of Legends on Twitch, mostly just playing casual with my friends, which really eased me into the game again. I also changed a little bit about how I'm going to do these review VODs. If you look at my earlier videos, I went a little bit more in depth and I kind of watched the game minute by minute and analyzed as much as I could. But the problem with that is just I have so many issues and basic things I need to learn that it was really hard to go into the details and sort of analyze everything. And it was just really hard to do that, especially since the big thing is the volume of games I'm doing. So doing that for 50 games for each champion, for each role, it was just a little bit too much for me. And I felt like it was really hard to actually know what I needed to work on just because I was just focusing on too many little things. So I changed it up to where I would do some commentary while I'm playing and then sort of go over it and just look at the big general issues that I have. And especially for things like jungle, it allowed me to just see sort of like my habits and things that I need to work on in general. And yeah, so especially the volume, it's gonna be a lot. And so this just makes it a whole lot easier. And I feel like I'm learning a lot more because I get a more sort of broad view of what I'm doing and my mistakes, the good things I'm doing, my habits. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna stick with doing it this way for now. So I just finished my 50th game of Lee Sin, so I reached my goal, and now I have two junglers for jungle. I have Elise and I have Lee Sin. Now, both of them fit like the early game snowballing type of comps, which are, kind of hard to pull off. But yeah, so I've had very mixed games as Lee Sin. If you look at my later videos, I actually showed, the op.gg and sort of the level I'm playing against. And the level I'm playing against is anywhere from, high gold to like diamond 3. So I've definitely been playing against some higher elo players and it's been really hard for me to, do well most of the time. So I'm a little worried about getting into it. I've actually played a ton more games as Lee Sin in more of the sort of silver gold level and I do really well. So I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, I think once I get into higher elo, it's going to be a lot harder to be, influential. So overall, I have at least 2 champions for each role. And my big issue is that I've pretty much only been playing jungle. So jungle is probably my most comfortable role. And other lanes, I just really haven't played that much. The second is mid for Malzahar. I've played almost no AD carry, almost no support, almost no top lane, and you know, top lane is probably my weakest role, so I'm really worried about that. So I'm a little hesitant to start ranked, but I think it's better for me just to get in it and just get it over with. Because I think what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna be playing a role for, you know, a pretty big chunk of time, and I can just learn as I'm going instead of just, you know, trying to be equally as good now until I'm ready and then jump into it, because I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point where I feel completely ready. So I think I'm just gonna jump into it. I just realized that for my AD carry account, it's not level 30 yet. It's like I just got it to level 22. I thought all my accounts were level 30, but that's not the case. But, you know, I'll have to just leave that AD carry as last. But I should have plenty of time. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just do my 10 placement games for each of the roles, and then see where I'm at, and then play the lowest ranked and go from there. I'm also going to do more sort of non-gameplay videos. The big thing was the CSing. I really need to work on CSing, and I'm gonna change sort of how I define the levels, because at the moment level 1 is basically no level ups, no spells, just pure auto attacking. And while that's really useful, that's probably not really a level 1 type of skill. I think what I should be doing is just, you know, just level up normally and use the spells as they come up until 10 minutes and see how I can get as much CS as possible. Because if I can do that, then I can sort of narrow it down to where, okay, well, I won't level up and use my abilities and all that stuff. But if I can just get, you know, close to 10 CS per minute with no sort of crutches, then I can move up from there. I think that just makes more sense to me. So I'm gonna start doing more of those types of videos for each champion, and I'll have to see what the, you know, level 2, level 3 are gonna look like. Probably I'll just add bots. So I'm gonna change, you know, that CS regimen, I guess you could call it. So I think that's gonna work out a lot better, and I plan to do more of that because I haven't done that in a really long time, and playing jungle, my CS is really bad. So I'm gonna start doing that again. I think that's it for this sort of update. It's sort of encompassed like almost a whole year now of this challenge, even though I took like months away from this. I started this in preseason, and now it's almost the end of the season. But at least it's done now, so I can go from here. But yeah, now I'm gonna start getting into the meat of the challenge finally, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.